Hello, welcome to Computer Tech and More. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Razer Ornata 10 keyless keyboard. It's a version 3. It's a compact, low-profile mechanical gaming keyboard. This one specifically features Razer Mecha-Membrane, so it's got a mechanical element with membrane undertone. So membrane switches are like this dome cap that's, like silicon, and old keycaps would push on it and indent, and you got very little feel with the keyboard, but having a mechanical element will allow you to feel more of that key press. And this is a $70 keyboard, so it's definitely more on that budget end. And my old Alienware keyboard was a membrane keyboard that I used for gaming for a very long time. Not so good at typing. So I'm basically looking at a second keyboard to take over that Alienware, which I've actually been using for work from home, and going to use my drop shift for work from home, but I'm digressing. So the World 10 keyless, what else? That's low profile keys, which I do like the idea of, so you don't have to articulate your wrists as much. UV coated keycaps, backlit dedicated memory keys, chroma. So you will need Razer's chroma software. I am using a Razer mouse currently, which is one of the reasons why I'm specifically looking at Razer, because I'm already using their software, and the less bloatware they have on your computer is better. Some stickers, an instruction manual, and yes, I'm calling the RGB software from every single brand bloatware. This just slows down the computer. Alright, first and foremost, this cable is directly connected to the keyboard. That is not my preferred, because it means if something ever happens to this keyboard is now trash. But it's $70, so kind of acceptable, but it doesn't cost really any more to have a plug on it. And you get a little wrist rest, and that was everything in the box. Let's go ahead and open stuff up. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back again. Please subscribe if you like my videos, and I have a Patreon page if you want to check that out. But I've been looking at keyboards for a little while, and I haven't quite found one I like, so that's why I'm taking a look at this one. So it's got this soft touch plastic on top. It's not the best feeling soft touch plastic ever, but it's not bad. It's certainly not like the bottom. You got a little Razer logo in the middle there. It must be magnetic. Yep. And let's do a quick tour of the keyboard. On the bottom here, we got rubber. These are not the biggest on the bottom, especially on the front. So it may slide, especially if you're using it with any of the feet elevated. It's got a nice little cable run to go around wherever might be most convenient, but again, it's permanently attached to the keyboard. So if something ever happens to the cable, frayed or whatever, this keyboard then becomes e-waste, which is not a good thing. And there's the keyboard. All right, so we got some MIDI controls for volume. Not sure about that one. Wow, this is kind of interesting feeling. I'm going to bring the mic. So not all of the keys make that little ticking sound. And some of them are noisier than other ones. So that is, I guess, supposed to emulate a clicky. That is going to drive me crazy, and I can already tell you that this is probably not the keyboard for me. Just right now, it's got a 2-year warranty. While I'm mentioning stuff, it looks like the black lighting will be pretty cool though. Stabilization on the keys is pretty good. A little bit of rock, like forward and back, a little bit more than usual, but side to side, it's not bad. especially considering what kind of budget we're actually talking about on this keyboard. So I can find that all perfectly acceptable. You got your mute. Do you have secondary keys? It's going to have some secondary keys. I see it's just going to be the double printed. So you have insert and print screen. So you need to hit FN to print screen, that kind of stuff. Your lighting control secondary as well. Is there anything else to say? All right, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and plug this thing into a computer and see what's what. All right, here is the Razer software. What's it called? Synapsis or Synap. And well, let's play around with some of the settings. All right, in software we have a mode called game mode, and that disables the Windows keys and stuff like that. I'm going to just go ahead and turn that off for right now. We got standard, hyper shift. Let's keep it on standard. Okay. All right, right here at the top we got the customize. So Razer Hypershift assign keys as Hypershift key modifiers. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really know what that is. So keyboard functions, key recording, binding, mouse function interface. So it's got a whole bunch of stuff over here. What I'm going to focus on is lighting, so we can adjust the brightness. And the slider doesn't do anything until you let go of it. I know you can't see the keyboard right here. Advanced effects, okay. And right here we have quick effects, and then we have advanced effects. So in order to apply advanced effects, we're going to need to install Chroma Studio module. Let's go ahead and do that. Click on it, modules, Chroma Studio module. Restart. Now that we have that installed, let's go to Advanced Effects, Chroma Studio. All right. Let's see what we're doing. I haven't really played around with this that much. Okay, so it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 color zones. So I'm gonna just make it pretty obnoxious, I guess. So this is a less expensive keyboard, so that's why there are fewer zones as opposed to per key lighting that a lot of other keyboards feature. So it is a sacrifice you are making. Whether that is worth it to you is, I guess, a personal decision. But sure, let's go ahead and save. So you can also come over here and do like audio meter. Yes. I'm just going to play around with it. Breathing, so that should oscillate it so you can do something over here. Fire, that sounds cool. Reactive. So what happens if I just click save over there? I do not see any difference on the keyboard. So just for sake of what we're taking a look at, this is the way the keyboard looks for that static that I set up. So ambient, whatever. I'm just clicking on the various effects. It doesn't appear to be doing anything. It does look like the software is thinking pretty hard. I am not an expert at this software. So effect layers. Let's just turn all this stuff off. Okay, if I click on this, so I'm going to adjust this color row. So if I go and make it, let's go ahead and make it like a white. Well, let's go ahead and change that to a blue. It's a very subtle difference in color. I'm going to say that the colors are only okay. It's fine. The more you want to play around with this, the better you're going to get the effects to do exactly what you want them to do. Personally, I would say I just leave it on a static. And for this keyboard in particular, I probably would have all these one color and then maybe a color here and a color here. I think a cooler way that they could have set this up would be zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, 4, and then all this as like 1, 5. But they didn't, so this is what we have to work with, and it looks fine, I guess. Let's go ahead and do a typing test. All right, once again, disclaimer about my typing test. I'm at a weird angle, and I'm looking past my camera recording my screen. I'm a little bit dyslexic, so that does not help. The microphone is pointing at the keyboard, so you get to hear what it sounds like while typing. And, well, let's see how we do. Oops. Wow! Other than the sound of this keyboard, this was a pretty good typing experience for me. Normally I'm in the low 50s, so 61 is a very high result for me. Do note that some effects are adjusted based on the test given, but this is probably the fastest I've done. I don't like the sound of the keyboard, to be clear, but the membrane switch for me felt pretty good. Let's jump to a gaming test. Before we move to a gaming test, when I plugged in the computer from my test computer to the gaming computer, the RGB lighting just went and switched itself away from what it should be. So that's a little bit annoying, which means that this keyboard would need to make sure you have the Razer software installed in order for it to get the lighting effects. So wherever you have the software installed with your user profile, it'll automatically load upon startup, but it doesn't save profiles on the keyboard itself. Okay, we're going to do our gaming test. This is plugged in. You'll notice that the lighting is different than well, just a moment ago, and that's because I plugged it into a different computer for doing the gaming test, and all the lighting kind of just changed, as I just mentioned, and the game of choice is going to be Black Mesa. So, oh, okay, head crabs. Right now this is more of a test for, okay, there we go. We're going to just run through it so that I can get a good feel for, oh, hello. I don't like the switch sound. So you do have to fully depress the switches. That's kind of a waste of shot. But because of the audio, the audible click sound, you definitely know that you depressed the keys. So that may be good for you in particular. For me, doesn't matter. In terms of its feel, feels fine. I only have 7 health. It's fine. I guess let's do conclusion real quick. Hello, doctor. My conclusion on this keyboard would basically be, it's fine if you absolutely love membrane switches. This is probably the keyboard for you. If you don't like membrane switches, this probably is not the keyboard for you. It's certainly could be worse. It's fine. Responsiveness to what I can see on the screen is okay. But what did professionals have to say about it? I took down notes. So the Entra, based on ratings results, rated it at 6.9 for gaming. For office use, 6.9. For programming, 6.5. Build quality is rated at a 6.5. Backlighting effects is rated at a 5.4. Typing quality is a 6.5. And its latency result is a 7.5 at 10.2 milliseconds. So its latency is not great. However, if you're only a casual gamer, it's certainly adequate and probably perfect. Typing, we saw that I typed pretty well on it. So take that for what you will. It doesn't mean that it's bad. I certainly think it's an okay typing experience, but I don't like the feel is snappy, but there's not much to it. So I guess we'll leave the video there. Please subscribe for more content. I have other keyboard reviews up on my channel, as well as several other upcoming. And I'm deep into fan testing to cool off your gaming PC. Please subscribe for more content and check out my Patreon page. It's viewers like you that help make this channel possible. Thank you very much. Have a good day.